Hey guys, it's Hannah Yemaya from Sacred Creations and Healing LLC, and it is story time, you guys. And I want to talk about how abundance is your birthright. Not only just abundance, but prosperity is your birthright. So, you guys, I had a dream. Okay, I had a horrifying dream. Okay, and I know how y'all talk about heaven and hell, and I want to talk about that. I actually visited heaven and hell in my dream recently. Okay. And I went to hell first. I visited hell first. And as I visited hell, I went to the dining room of hell, and I seen a whole bunch of people sitting at the table with a whole bunch of food. Okay. And the food was just sitting there. Okay. Their arms were splinted on a wooden platter where they could not bend their elbows. So they was not able to feed themselves. But they were so hungry that all you can hear was a whole bunch of men and women groaning, moaning, and hunger because they could not feed themselves. Okay? And I just walked out of hell crying. So then I visit heaven. Okay? And I was surprised when I visit heaven because I actually witnessed the same setting. But in the same setting, because their arms were splinted to the wooden platters of the table, the people at the table were feeding their neighbor, and their neighbor were feeding them back. So I ran back to hell. And I went to the guy at the table, and I said, "Hey, why don't y'all feed y'all's neighbor, and your neighbor feed you back?" And the guy said, "We would rather starve than feed our neighbor. I don't want him to get the pleasure out of eating. I don't want him to have anything that I got. I don't want to see him grow. I don't want to see him prosper. I don't want to see him live in abundance." So everybody in hell starved. They starved because they didn't want to share. They didn't care. They felt like prosperity and abundance was not their birthright. It was not their neighbor's birthright. So they become greedy, and they hold it resentment and animosity towards their neighbor because they didn't want their neighbor to experience abundance and prosperity. So I'm here to tell you guys right now, heaven and hell could be materialistically here right now. It's all about how you live your life, how you share ideals with your neighbor, how you help your neighbor, feed thy neighbor, love thy neighbor. And if you have not started, today is the day, because you're creating your own heaven and hell right now as we speak. This is Hannah Yemaya, your soul coach and oracle, and I'll see you guys later.